Hello, hello, hello. We are gonna do something a little bit different tonight because I nuked my OBS settings a couple of weeks ago when I was trying to fix something, and everything was bad, and now everything is much worse. In fact, I think this music looks like it's pretty loud. What do you guys think? Welcome in, by the way. Thanks for stopping by this evening, or whatever time it is for you. Katie and Paper Flare will win for 36 months. That's crazy. But thank you so much. Blue Feathers, DucksDucksDucks, welcome in, y'all. Yeah, so Vintage Story is a lot like Minecraft in a way, except that it's a little bit, I don't know if I would say maybe like less forgiving or a little bit more in depth. I'll just jump into it, I guess, and kind of talk as I'm playing. But I'm not good at this game, so if you are randomly coming here after searching Vintage Story, don't expect excellence here tonight. How long do you plan to stream? I'm not sure yet. It depends on how badly it goes. We'll see. All right. We're going to have a black screen for a second. There we go. Okay, perfect. I'm working on resetting everything, but you guys, I absolutely destroyed everything related to my like streams, my recording, my audio settings, my everything is gone. So, you know, be patient with me, I guess. But also, if you guys notice anything weird, let me know, because I might not know, because I haven't set that stuff up in a million years. So, yeah, we're going to start a brand new game. I have played a little bit. This one I have a little bit of time in. I really don't know a lot about what I'm doing yet, but we're going to play on just the standard, like the out-of-the-box, what you would expect as Vintage Story here, and generate a world. And so there is an actual story behind Vintage Story, and it's I think it's about a world that's like decayed or rusted, I guess, but I don't know very much about it. Other than that, there's like an inventor in the past that lost control of these things that were supposed to help us, I think. I don't know. Anyway, this is us. I made this character a little bit ago. I love the voices. They're really hilarious until you start taking a bunch of damage, and you hear them all the time if you're bad at the game like me. Commoner, Hunter, Malefactor seems fun for like a coward style playthrough. I guess I could just let you guys know what these are real quick in case you don't. The Hunter, they're focused on range damage. They're focused on harvesting from animals. They're not very good at melee. They are not very good in the mines. The Malefactor is like the rogue type class. You're good at sneaking around, hiding from animals, collecting stuff, but you're actually not the best in a straight up fight, which kind of makes sense. The Clockmaker seems really like focused on end game enemies. They do more damage to mechs, and mechs are something you run into more towards the end of the game, is my understanding. They can also tame certain creatures. Blackguards are like a melee type. They're focused on doing more damage up close, and they get really hungry, which from what I've seen online, people are like, oh, hunger is not a big deal once you're used to the game. Well, I guess I'm just not yet. And then Taylor, this seems like a class that you would want to play only if you were like in an online situation, because most of their stuff is focused on like crafting, but not necessarily crafting like weapons and armor, though they do have the armor durability, and they're really weak in like everything other than that. So I don't know. We'll go commoner here. I've seen a lot of people say Blackguard's the way to go, but I'm not there yet. So yeah, when I say it's a lot like Minecraft, I mean like it looks a lot like Minecraft. The difference is for us to claystone, for us to even get started here, I don't have an inventory yet. I can't just punch a tree to get wood from it. We're going to have to do things kind of old school. So I'm going to be looking for some stones that I can turn into a knife. Oh, we got a mushroom. Oops. And then we'll take this flint that we just got. We'll find a stick, and we'll nap. Well, I guess first we'll nap the stone into an actual like knife. So this is where it gets a little different. Instead of just putting a tool into like your crafting menu, you do like make the parts for it. So to make a knife blade, we just click all of these little voxels, and they'll split off. Ooh, cool. There. So we got a knife blade. Now we need to find a stick to stick it onto. These aren't the best way to find sticks. Sometimes you can find a branchy, there we go, birch branchy leaves. Oh my gosh. We have everything we need. A stick and a knife blade. So yeah, that's how it starts. Progression feels a lot slower than in like say Minecraft, for example. There's gonna be probably a fair few comparisons. Like it's probably the first thing you think when you open up the game and start playing, or when you see media for it online. And the gameplay loop is, I guess, pretty similar. Other than this seems just like way more intense. And intense is how this foliage is too. It's insane. I want to start a fire and get it out of here. All right, we're gonna need more sticks. So I'm gonna make an axe head. I have a couple of sticks. I have just a tiny little bit of flint here, and those claystone little stones that I've been finding, they're not a strong enough type of stone to actually nap. So yeah, there's just a lot to dig into here. I'm thinking about setting up a server in the Discord, which is something we did in Minecraft for a little while. It's like that few months phase when you get back into like a game or something and you're like, oh my gosh, why did I ever stop playing this? And then you play it for a while and then you're like, all right, well, that was fun. Time to find something new. That's how I feel about games like this. And oh, we got a chicken down there. If you can't get anywhere, no. If I get a better weapon, I guess I could go hunting maybe, but anyway, that's how I feel about like survival crafting type games. A lot of the time is like I'll be so into it and then I'll be like, well, that was a good time. Looks like you have shaders on in Minecraft. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's a lot of comparisons, like I said. A lot of fair ones. But they do feel like pretty distinct to me. Heading off to the eye specialist. Listen to you through the car. Thanks for throwing it on. I do that all the time on my way home from work. A lot of the time, Argon Matrix is streaming, although I don't know if that's still true recently, but it used to be my go-to. Another issue that I run into, at least, just because I'm, like I said, still kind of figuring things out, is like the food management and stamina in this game seems pretty unforgiving. Or I don't know, you kind of have to make things go as far as you can, I guess, is maybe a better way of phrasing it. Anyway, I just grabbed these cattails out of like a little slough or a little pond here. And that I can use to make a handbasket here, giving us 3 slots of inventory. So you can expand that. We have apparently the capacity to hold 3 more baskets made out of reeds. So that can get us up to 12. And then from there, we'll have to start looking at doing things like killing animals for some pelt, or trying to hunt down some linen, things like that. And we can also use these to like craft a chest. So if we figure out somewhere to kind of set down, and I will want to find something at some point, then we can potentially get some chests down on the ground. Got some good soil around here. I kind of always like being near like a body of water, but I kind of like the I don't have any big ones nearby. This looks interesting. Yeah, it's a good game. I've been enjoying it a lot so far. I think I'm just gonna start walking. Also, I think I can change well, it's probably in here somewhere. I thought I could change the map to look more colorful, but that might have been like a world building setting that I missed. So, our goal here, early game, is just I want to max out my inventory right away. Then kind of want to just wander around collecting resources, especially food, just to get us through the first couple of days. If we find some good stuff, we can mark it on the map. There's a really robust, like, mini marker section. And we'll want to, like this, for example. I already have a macro for this. I think it's 3. Yeah, so I can just set that up to hit Control, Shift, and 3 at the same time, and it'll mark on my map, oh, here's an entrance to a cave. I might want to come back here. I see there's quartz down there, for example. Hurts my eyes. It feels blurry. That might be an OBS or a stream thing, but I'm pretty sure. Oh, nice. I don't think there's too much that I can change visually. Oh, and I forgot to turn off this. There we go. Game actually has solid music too, so I'll probably it'll be a billion years before this is ever relevant, but we just found a yellow apple tree, or a young yellow apple tree. Interesting. So I can just come into the map and right click here, apple tree, a yellow one, and we'll mark it as a little fruit. And now if I want to try and come back at some point and like take a cutting so I can cultivate my own apple orchard, I can do that, which is really nice to just have by default, and something that I take advantage of a lot lately because I just don't have the capacity to deal with something, or I don't have like the inventory space or something along those lines is just preventing you from making use of whatever that item is. Okay, we have our inventories maxed. I don't have a ton of food, but let's see what's going on over here. Things we're looking for right now, I need more flint as I see it. I'll need to grab a little bit of grass at some point. We want to be keeping an eye out for these bushes with berries in them. I mean, it would be a lot better if they actually had berries, but I'm just going to take all of these with me, including the plant. I could leave these and mark them like I did for that apple tree, and we could come back at, I don't know, maybe in 8 days. This one will, oh, flower. So we could come back later and grab berries from those, but I actually just want to, if we find a nice place to set down roots, kind of just want to have them on me so I can just chuck them in the ground and start the growing from there, even if it isn't useful right away. I wonder if it's the field of view. Oh yeah, 90. Yeah, I think I like it at 90. I did notice that. I was playing this on my Steam Deck, and it was hard to, like, play. Well, it was technically hard because it's challenging. It requires the mouse a lot. Oh, we got a boar that I just woke up. Whoops. We got a trader here. So there aren't like villages or like human settlements anywhere. But there are a few of these folks out there. This is Trader, the agricultural supplier. Sorry, skipping through some dialogue there. This is where you can kind of learn a little bit about what's going on. I'm not really concerned with that today. I'm still trying to figure everything out. We could maybe do like a story playthrough at some point and go through it, because it does seem like it's pretty interesting. But this guy would sell some stuff. He would buy some things from me. Nothing that I am anywhere near being able to do, but it's good to know. And we'll go ahead and mark them on the map. The other thing with these guys... This is an ag trader, right? The other thing with these guys that's kind of nice, and I don't know if this is true in this version. Yeah, you can use their chests for storage. Like, I can't break down his little cart here, but I could use his chest for storage, and I can use his bed if I want to. Oh, this is a crate. Okay. They're so accommodating. So if we're in a real bind... and night is looking a little spicy, we can always try and hop in there. What do we have around us? I wish I would have had that color on. I'm going to go kind of in this area over by this lake. This looks like it might be more like sandy. Sometimes it's easier to see ore deposits, for me at least. To see surface ore deposits when there's like way less cover. Never actually tried to kill a fish with a knife before. I always just use a spear, but we haven't gotten there, or I haven't made any. Nothing doing though. I couldn't get any meat off of that entire fish, I guess. Hey, Shenanigans, welcome in. Too sensitive eyes. Sorry to hear that. Thanks for stopping in, though. Hope you have a good one. Yeah, not every... I don't know. I have games that I struggle with. Oh, this is nice. Okay. So we have a cave entrance and some red clay. This is good stuff to have. This is really important in the transition away from stone tools. I think I have a macro for that, actually. But whatever. That was not what I thought it was. I think we might post up pretty close here. This seems like a decent place. There's some clay. We got some good soil if we decide to stick around long enough to grow crops. A little bit of gravel, but nothing going on in here, which is fine. But if we can't get a hold of some ore, we can actually just sift through the gravel, or we could go panning. We could go panning with Poxyl if we can get a hold of them, and we can get our a jump start on our metal age that way. We're definitely not Minecraft. Yeah, I know. I didn't know what this was until like 2 weeks ago, and I saw a couple of videos and I thought it was like a mod, but it is a standalone and it's really cool. I don't want to use decent soil to build a little hut, but I want to get something in the ground. Are we just surrounded by good soil? Oh, we got some ruins. Maybe we'll make use of this. We got to dig all this out anyway. So there are, at spawn, ruins like this created, and I think we could find some stuff under the ground. We got basically a full inventory. Let's try and get a shovel here. This is why it's a little bit different, Chana. I have to nap the flint to make my shovel head and attach that to a little stick there. That part's pretty similar. But all the tool making is like that. So when you get to the point where you are moving into like metals, you have to like make a crucible and heat up your fire to the correct temperature using the right kind of like flammable stuff. The words escape me, like firewood, I guess, but I was thinking more like coal is where I was trying to go, or like charcoal. Different things burn at different temperatures. I don't know that I'm getting much more over there. Different things burn at different temperatures, and so to make like copper, I can just do that. But if you get out to making iron, you have to start getting into like all kinds of accessory items to do that. And I don't know. That's really cool to me. I can also see it being really annoying if you're not in the mood for it, or if you just don't care. But I just think it's neat. Well, that was a lot of digging on day one that I probably did not need to and probably should not have done. Because I don't see anything. And we've gone pretty much all the way around now. But hey, at least I got a lot of clay out of it, I guess. Well, oh, I saw a bow torn down there, which is a ranged enemy that's fairly new. I think new in this most recent, like, major patch. They suck. Enemies in this game are, like, eldritch horror more than just, like, a scary, creepy thing. They're, like, conceptually scary also. But, you know, also they kill you, so. Maybe right over there, in between. I don't know if I like that either, actually. Maybe I'll just end up digging all this out. It doesn't matter right now. Let's just, I'm going to slap down some dirt, I guess, and get started on a place where I can build a fire safely. Didn't really mean for you to be there. Because if it rains, my fire is going to go out, and if my fire goes out, then I'm going to run around and cry because I'll get all scared and stuff. I don't, or haven't, rather, I should say, I haven't played with, I think it's called block instability, where, like, you wouldn't be able to do this because that can't support itself. There's a setting for that. So it acts like how sand would if you were playing another blocky game. I don't really have anything to cook, so I guess I don't really need to make like a campfire. But I could at least get a torch up and running here, because we're gonna need something. And then is it like this? Yeah, fire starter. So we don't need to do this a whole bunch of times, but the first time here, we gotta do this the old-fashioned way. Are there mobs? Yeah. You probably asked that a little bit ago if I had to guess. There are. I ran past one that was in a hole over here somewhere that I didn't mark, even though I set something up specifically for that. But there are just like some creepy crawly guys that are pretty weak, but they can throw rocks, so you can kind of kite them. It's easier to do if you put together a shield, which I might still do. There are those ranged guys. Oh, that's something I should maybe warn. There's a really gross kind of not spider thing, so I would be very surprised if we encountered any of those, but they are pretty hideous, just FYI. I think they're called shivers, and that is what they make me do. Let's see. 13 cattails. Let's just clear this place out of more of those. Do I have any vines yet? I do. Okay. We can use this stuff to make some rope later, which we will need. This is the kind of game where I don't know about you guys, but I am a coward in like survival games. Like, I'm not the one braving into the depths to go fight the boss or even find it. Like, I'll help you if you want to do that, and when I die it won't be as scary because I won't be alone. So I kind of like, in single player, kind of turtle up a little bit. Like, I settle a little earlier than I probably need to, so that I just, it gives you that kind of safe feeling of a place to go home to. I'm sure for a lot of people that's like kind of silly or not very fun sounding, but it ends up meaning that I move a lot. Let's mark this on our map too, so I don't forget about it. It's not huge, so this will be home for now. And let's pin that so I always have it up here. Hey, Sarah. Welcome, welcome. All right, what else do we want to try and take care of tonight? I don't have a lot of food, but I guess I could go for some more fish around here. I might start... Oh, I guess I'll nap some tools, and then I have some clay. We can start forming the molds that we're going to need, and we can start firing that. Chop down some... We got a lot to do. I don't know what I'm worried about. So the reason that I'm going around and like cutting all this down is you lose basically everything if you just cut down the tree. But on the bright side, if you cut down the roots of a tree, the whole tree comes down. So I know there are mods in that other game, but that's something that I really appreciate. Let's do this. Is not having to cut down all of these, especially when it's like a 100-piece giant oak tree. The bad thing about that is you go through your axe's durability like insanely fast when you just have this little dinky rock axe. Just trying to have fun. Always trying to build first. Yeah. I don't know. There are like unforgiving settings and modes, but if we die, we'll die somewhere near, or we'll come back somewhere near where we spawned. Since I have this marked, we can just like come back here. It's not really that scary. My stuff will just stay on the ground for a little while. Got a bunny over there. I was worried that was a wolf cub for a second. Let's see. Let's start. Actually, I'm gonna make couple of. That's not what I wanted. I'm gonna make a couple of spears, but I guess I'll make a backup knife. Very cool. With the spears, though, I can either use these in melee or, preferably, and for more damage, I can throw them. The accuracy when moving doesn't seem to be... Like, that's not the ideal way to do it. And I feel like I'm always chasing stuff when I have a spear, so we'll see how well it works out, but... And I guess maybe... Did I use all of my soil? I did. Should maybe have a... like an escape plan up to the top of our little lean-to where I can build a bed. Oh, I have like no dried grass. Okay. Might not be a bad idea to be able to pass through the night just in case. I do want to keep working, but I mean, maybe I should just go up there and do this stuff. I don't need to be... Nah, that's all right. We'll make it work. If I have to tower myself up a little bit, I can do it with birch logs. There we go. So we take some of our grass, turn it into hay grass, turn that into a bed, and just in case, now we got somewhere to sleep. So I have an axe, 2 knives, a couple of spears, a shovel. We got our cranberry bushes. Should probably plant those somewhere. The vines, those will be rope eventually. I don't want to do that yet because they won't stack very well. Another cool thing about this game is you can just like lean something up against the wall. Like, okay, obviously. Man, that's exactly what I would do. I don't know. I thought that was just the coolest thing ever. I'm a simple man, though. These are not poisonous. That's good to know. We can just hover over and see that eating these won't hurt. But I didn't know that, so I ate some kind of mushroom that did like half of my health in damage the first time I was playing. I'm gonna get another axe, I think. And then I think I might start working on some clay stuff. So what we'll need to do is get like a mold. Well, I'll just show you. So we can put the clay on the ground, and from there we get a little like pop-up for recipes. So I want to make some raw bowls because we're gonna turn these. Actually, I don't want to do 4 of them. So a raw bowl. And unlike with the rock, I have to take off everything from this layer. Then we'll go up a layer. And fill in all the little guys. Boom, there we go. We got it. So this is just raw still. I have to actually like fire it. And since that's kind of challenging, I'm not going to be able to build a kiln to do that. We're going to do a pit kiln. So we'll be digging out a hole and filling it with a bunch of grass first and then sticks, and we'll fire it that way. Sorry, I can't think and talk and play the game. Good golly. Cooking pot. The bowl was just so that we can pull stuff out of the pot. The pot is what we actually need to make the meals. Your hunger, I almost certainly pronouncing this wrong, but what's the word? Satiety? Satiety? That plays a pretty big role, and getting different types of foods can increase that, but also eating different types of foods will increase the amount of hit points you have. So having a balanced diet, pretty silly, but in this case, actually really, really helpful. There's a little function when you're doing clay where you can just repeat a layer, which is really nice, since a lot of them are just like the same thing a whole bunch of times. All right, we got a cooking pot. We got a raw bowl. Let's get a... Where's the crucible? A raw crucible. So this will be how we can melt down copper ore at some point. That's usually something you can find, I guess, or at least I should say, that's usually something I've been able to find fairly early. I haven't seen anything on the surface so far. That might be, and probably is, just because I'm like talking and not paying as good of attention. But if we don't find that, then we're going to have to potentially start sifting for it. So we'll go panning. That looks extremely tedious, but also more rewarding in accomplishment than Minecraft. Yeah, kind of. Like, I haven't gotten to the point where, like, oh my god, I can't believe I'm still doing this. I could see that possibly happening at some point. Let's see. I have a bowl, one cooking pot, a crucible. I'm going to do another bowl. I don't know why I didn't just do 4 right away. I was thinking I was going to try and, like, cut down on the number of pit kilns I had to make, but... oh well. But I agree. Tedious is probably not a bad word. Like, is this really necessary in my video game? Like, does it need to be the, what is it, primitive survival YouTube channel? Probably not. But it's kind of fun. I think you got to be in the right mood or the right place for it, though. There are a lot of times where I don't think I would have been like, oh, cool, now I'm going to form some clay. But here I am. And I just think it's neat. What do we got? 16. We got some sticks. We got some wood. We got everything we need to get these in the ground. Is there anything else I want to get firing right away? Haven't done anything with bronze. That sounded like a piggy. Well, I don't know where it is. Doesn't seem like it cares about me. Mods to simplify the clay forming napping. That makes sense. Yeah, I mean, if you still want, like, the core game itself, but some of this stuff isn't for you. I guess I could get these started right away, so once we're done... Nah, I don't want to do this. I want to nap some tools. I want to get... Oh, I gotta dig out my pit kiln first. Let's just go right here. And that's my, I don't know, that's my safety block. Okay, so what we need to do is drop these all down into the pit. And bloop, bloop, bloop. And then we will fill that up with some dry grass and some sticks. And then I cut down a couple of trees earlier. We can turn a little bit of that, or actually probably the whole thing, into firewood. Put that across the top, and then light her up. And so there are instructions for, like, all of this. There's a really useful survival handbook. And it does walk you through everything really well. So, like, how to actually do this very, very basic stuff. And there's a tutorial at the beginning. So I would say pretty intimidated, but I learned it faster than I thought I would, I guess, if that makes sense. And you can too, if you want to play it. I really like ground stacking being a thing in this game. Like, just being able to plop some firewood down there, and then when I need it, just pick it up. Could never play Minecraft long because it was too simple. Yeah, it is what you make out of it, but the mechanics there are not the same as in a lot of the survival games that I really like that are a little like crunchier. So this is a good combo of getting both of those things. I don't really have a lot of food, so I probably shouldn't be out here like working all night, but just want to get a little bit more in the way of resources. And carrying the torch like this in my offhand will increase how quickly I get hungry too. Apparently it's quite the challenge. I probably should have taken it off to do this. Another thing that is pretty cool, it seems like with tool usage, you can see like, well, okay, never mind. I was going to say you can see my axe is really low and it's about to break. It didn't. The cool thing is, though, oh, and I left it here anyway. Man, what a comedy of errors. So in that hypothetical situation, if I would have had this axe on me, then it would have just continued using the next axe in your inventory. Just pull it out of your backpack and put it into your hands, assuming that you would want to use that next, which makes sense to me. Okay, we got a pit kiln going. I can get a little bit more firewood here. Here we go. This will probably do it. So I'll grab this other axe and put this one in for crafting. Put in the birch logs. Okay, we want to make a bunch of firewood. Cool. So it broke my one axe, and then it just put this next axe into the crafting inventory because it's like, oh, well, you want to keep crafting even though you broke that, right? It's just little stuff like that. To me, that kind of shows that the developers are like people that actually play the games. Not that I don't think that way about Minecraft, but there are a lot of, like, why do I have to do this kind of questions in games that I play sometimes. I think I'm going to just keep working on clay forming stuff. So if I can get some copper, we can just flip around and get out of the Stone Age really quickly here. So for this, we're just putting down the clay in our marked spots, which is really handy dandy. It's like, yes, you have to do it, but it's not like you have to remember how it goes or whatever. And if you have really shaky hands or really poor dexterity, like myself, then you can just go back and take it out. I don't know if that's the same with ironworking. I haven't messed up enough in ironworking for it to be an issue, or in metallurgy, I guess, not iron specifically. There's our pick. Other things that we'll need will be a hammer. I don't want to stand too close to the fire while I'm doing that. I don't need to be putting myself in a worse situation. Speaking of putting myself in a worse situation, holding on to that torch was just making me hungry faster for no reason. I just brought that up. Amazing. Incredible. Is this flawless performance? Oh my gosh. I'm unstoppable. Oh, I'm like 60 hours in on my first save of this game and not done any of the story content or gotten bored. Yeah, I have. The only reason I guess I know anything at all about the story is just because it's everywhere on my YouTube now. Prospecting pick. I have done the transition to the Copper Age a whole bunch, but going from copper on, you need to start getting like some alloys, and it just gets a little bit more involved. I mean, that's kind of just how the game goes, though. Like, to build a windmill, you don't need a degree, but it sure feels like it almost. All right. Boom. Cool. Should probably just go ahead and throw those up against the wall. I wonder if... I don't think anything happens to those if they get wet now. I think they just... Well, yeah, I don't think anything would happen. I think if they are getting fired and they get wet, that's not so good. Playing 3D printer Minecraft, exactly. Holding a torch makes you hungry because it makes you think of barbecue. It's only if you're holding it in your left hand, you know. Okay. So this is going. That's going to take a little while. Oh. Did I make a chest? I didn't. Oh, please don't start on fire. Okay, cool. Gonna just quickly make a chest out of some of the cattails we have here. We don't need to be taking everything with us. Like, I don't need to put the bed in the chest, but whatever. Actually, I will take that. Cranberry bushes can stay. And I don't need vines, and I can just throw this block away. Oh, check it out. I can skip rocks. Not quite all the way to the other side. Okay. Well, we survived that first night, which I was not very worried about, but did it nonetheless. Today, it'll be a search for some food. We'll be looking for copper on the above the surface, if possible. And just marking off other things that we find as well. And I think today we better make sure we're killing fish, because I don't have anything as far as food goes. There we go. We can eat this raw. We could go back and set up a campfire and cook it if we wanted to. We won't get sick from eating it, though, and it would increase how much hunger we're, like, caring for. We'll see how it goes. Maybe that can be like a last resort. Can you have pets? You can actually. The animal husbandry goes so far as, like, the more generations that have been born in from, like, the same matrilineal bloodline, the more domesticated they are. So kind of like, I could go out right now. Well, that's not one. I could go out right now and find a boar, I guess, or a chick. How about a chicken? That's a good example. I could go out and find a bunch of chickens, and if I manage to like run them into a trap, and then I made sure they had food and a hen box for the hen. Eventually she would lay eggs, and, like, as long as that keeps going and the new ones are born, and it's only the mother that matters, actually, I think. As long as that keeps going, yeah, they'll get more and more used to you being around. It's pretty neat. I would be so terrible at this in real life. I'm not even, like... Not too bad here. I was going to say, my hands are so shaky in real life. Like, there's just no way. Alright, 2 more spearheads. I saw a boar over there. And I'd rather have too many than too few, because I think we'll see if we can go take it down. If I can find it again. That'd be a good source of some meat. We could get actual meal cooked with our cooking pot. That should be done. Oh, there you are. Like I said, I always feel like I'm chasing or being chased by something. And trying to throw one of these guys while you're running is a nightmare. But at least I can get them back. I actually thought that would have killed him. Oh, and we got another one here. There we go. All right. Other guy doesn't seem like he's worried about me, so let's see what we get out of this. I should get some hide, some raw meat, and some animal fat. Very cool. And then we can use those bones. Use those for a handle of a knife or of an axe. That'll be handy. So, this stuff is not quite done yet. That's too bad. Let's get a little bit more soil and push that overhang out a little bit further. Consider my rooster and boar as my pets because the moms... Yeah, the mom decides the generation. Exactly. That's... Yeah. Unfortunately, mom, in this scenario, she's not going to be sticking around. And... Alright, perfect. Let's see... let's get an actual, like, campfire. And we'll use some of our firewood for that, except I probably... Oh, I do have some room. Or do I not? Okay. Alright, don't know what I did wrong there, but whatever. And... the Eternal Flame. Light it up. We just can move this fire around. And I guess since we're here, I can cook the red meat. I'm going to cook the fish first. And you can go in there. We got 16 cranberry bushes. I should maybe plant those if we're going to stick around this area for any length of time. I like having these kind of out of the way. I wish they would go back into that spot. But that's a lot to ask. Generation 10, then the moms can stick around. Yeah, once you're at Gen 10, they're just, like, fully domesticated. Then you can have the real army. And I think you have to get to, with, like, the hoof stock, you have to get to a certain level before you can just butcher them instead of having to actually, like, go fight them. So, yeah, there's a lot of little stuff like that that I don't even think of in a survival game, but it does make sense. I'm gonna leave that run. I probably shouldn't, but actually, yeah, that's a terrible idea. Take like half of that out. I don't have enough wood to be wasting on things like that. Okay, we got a little bit of food going. That was one of my goals. There was another boar around here, wasn't there? I don't want to get that knocked out right away too. I probably have a pretty full inventory. Let's go ahead and actually start processing this. So we're gonna oil this hide with that lump of fat that we got. We're using everything. We'll throw that in the box. I can probably just put this hay bed down somewhere, like literally wherever. There we go. Perfect. This should take us through the rest of today and probably tomorrow. Or at least most of it. The berries, I think I'll just eat right away here. And maybe I should get those... I'm still not sure. Get rid of the tutorial prompt. So this Calm Rift activity down here. That's good. We like to see that. The concept behind the enemies in this game, to my understanding, is that they're like there's something out of time, because there are like temporal storms that will occur eventually, and this little guy that we haven't really looked at all is like a sanity meter essentially. It's your temporal stability, I think, is exactly what it's called, and if that goes down too low, you start seeing things and actually taking damage. But the area that we're in seems like it's pretty chill, which is nice. We'll still get a storm because there's something that happened, but it's not like going to be going down on our just day to day. So for any kind of meaningful progression, we're going to need to get to copper at some point. I'm not necessarily in a rush. Like, I still have a pit kiln going with the very first thing I put in there. We're not speed running by any means. But moving from stone to copper has felt like a pretty huge like paradigm shift. Like, just your whole strategy is completely different, it feels like to me. So I would like to get that far. Maybe we could find some more ruins. That would be kind of fun. So that's kind of what we'll be looking for. And then I'll just be collecting flint while we're running here, because we're always going to need more of that. And even more so than we used to, I think. I think you need it for fire clay. Just something we'll deal with later. Go ahead and drop a waypoint for the entrance to that cave. If I can find one that is a little bit less vertical, I might go check it out. I have the bravery of being forced to look brave on camera or whatever. So, speak of the devil, this will work. We'll go ahead and pop down there. I'm gonna grab some. Jesus, busy in here. Okay. I'm gonna grab some dirt just so that I can like pillar out. And if we start getting a lot of branching paths, I'll probably have to just peace out. Oh, I didn't bring a torch. Shoot. Okay, well, I guess never mind. Well, we can go check it out. In worst case scenario, I just turn around, right? Yeah, there we go. That's fun. So, without a light source, I'm not sure that I want to jump down there. We got drifters. And then the one that had, like, bones coming out of its back. I want to say that's called a bowtorn. But I'm not going down there right now. I looked. Good enough. Are you guys proud? Please tell me you are. Could probably get that fox. Hope it's running. This mushrooms? A dead hen. Oh my gosh. Well, let's see what we got. Have to bail now. Hope you have a great day. Thanks, Lauren. You too. I'm not getting very lucky with the roadkill today. I think we're like 1 for 3. Well, I guess I killed those fish. I just considered... Never mind. They're just so tiny, it's like inconsequential in my thought process, I guess. Red wine caps, these are good. We'll take these. I think these will fill up our vegetable need. Or desire, I guess, more than need. And that'll increase the amount of HP that we have to work with. There's a lot of little mechanics at work that that make it really cool. What do I have? Cranberry bushes, black currants. When we get home, maybe we can plant all these, since I have a whole bunch just sitting in the chest. We got quartz. This is what I'm looking for, essentially, but not quartz. Copper. Copper is what we're looking for. We got some turnips here. Inventory's getting a little bit full, but we can probably eat our way through some of that, to be honest. Well, let's mark this quartz. I think I have something for that. Is that 6? Yeah, okay. So if for whatever reason I am in desperate need of quartz, now I know I can swing back through this way. These first. Berries won't stay as long as a mushroom. I should probably go for the meat after that, actually. So with these turnips, these ones are stage 5 out of 5, so we just want to go ahead and harvest them. We got a couple of turnips. That's pretty cool. Also got some seeds. These require nutrient N, which is a conversation probably for an entirely different stream. These ones are not anywhere near... Well, I mean, they're 3 out of 5, 3 out of 5, 2 out of 5. So I could try and cut these up, and I might get seeds out of them. I think I could get actual turnips, or maybe one. But we're just going to go ahead and mark it on the map for now. And if I'm back through here another time, then we'll grab them then. Here we go. Get a little bit of fish, too. Maybe. So proud. Thank you. Thank you. I don't know how everyone else's first few days are of Vintage Story or their playstyles, but I'm always chasing something, and it feels like it's never the same thing. This time, things are pretty good. If we would have found more copper just laying around, that would be cool. But there are other ways to get copper, too. The amount of grass out here is, like, a little bit mind-boggling. I always get, like, a little bit of a gremlin urge to just start a fire whenever I see just how much grass is out there. I really don't have room for this, do I? I guess we'll leave a cranberry bush behind. Another thing that I find myself doing, which is something I hate in Stardew Valley, is running back and forth from my home to whatever I'm working on. Whenever that happens to me, at least in Stardew, I feel like I've wasted so much time since the day is on such a tight timer, it always feels. But I'm consistently filling up my inventory with just the garbage of the world and then dropping it off at home in the middle of my day. Especially if I had a clear goal in mind. That's when there's no chance I don't have to make a few trips. Somebody was saying it looks just like Minecraft with shaders, and it is a gorgeous game. I got my cranberry bush back. I guess I had cattails in the inventory already. Oh, nice. These are cranberry bushes. Well, awesome. My knife break from that? It did. Okay, cool. We really need to get these planted somewhere, huh? I don't think we're gaining too much from having like 20-some cranberry plants in a chest. Got some animals around here. I'd have to get some fences up if we do any kind of gardening. I can't believe this is still going. I feel like it's been years. So let's grab our cranberry plants. We have some black currant. Let's just make this little patch here the new berry patch. Did I grab that other set? Okay, I do have them. Awesome. It'll be a little while before these can even possibly be of use to us, but at least they're here. That's something. We have that. We got a little bit of food. I could get the fire back up and going, and I maybe should cook the fish here. So let's do that. There we go. Fire's cold. Well, that makes sense. We get that going again. I love how there's like a little like spit above there. Cute. Now, what else do we want to do today? I feel like I ran a long way and didn't actually find anything of note, or wasn't paying good enough attention to do so, at least. I don't need to be carrying seeds with me. The turnips can stay. Feathers can stay. Everything else I think we'll take. You can go too, actually. Guess I will get a little bit more grass while I'm waiting for that fish to cook. Once that is up, maybe we'll head in the opposite direction for a little while, see what else is out in the world. And then by the time we get back, the kiln should be... the pit kiln should be all done. Should have maybe waited with some of that stuff. Because once we come back, we'll be able to cook things in a cooking pot instead of just on a spit like that. But it's a little late for that now, so let's take these with us. There's no more firewood in there that's burning. And let's head north for a little bit. Because I went south the other time, right? Yeah. Do I need to free up any space? Not really. I mean, yes, but... So, here is a temporal rift. If we get too close to this, you can see I'm losing my stability. At night, or if there's no sky cover, for lack of a better word, those will spawn enemies. So, not the best that's really close to us. They do move. Let's see, what is clay again? 4. Okay. From what I've played, it seems like clay is one of the needs that like comes and goes. I'll get a couple of stacks of it and have like way too much, and then all of a sudden I'll be out. But I don't want to spend all my time just digging that out in case I need it later. As long as we know where it is, that's good enough. We're going to have a cranberry empire by the time all of these grow back. Somewhere in like the 30s for cranberry bushes now. Not a lot that I'm able to see and mark, though. And I think, honestly, there's probably a lot of cool stuff under all of the grass cover. I just don't know where it is. I don't think I want to get too far out. It's like 3:30. It's not too bad, actually. We could start getting some charcoal. At least a little bit of that would help. That would require going back home. Maybe that's something I can work on a little bit tonight. If it's safe enough, we can go out, collect some wood for a little charcoal pit. Look at that. There are some really good cinematics. I love that little floating island. Don't know if it's actually floating. I might not be rendering whatever's holding it up, but looks awesome. It's lovely, lovely. I saw some mushrooms over here. Lobsters I know are good, so we'll go ahead and grab all of these if we can. These will go really well in a stew, which is yeah, probably what we'll be what we'll be having next. Be lobster stew, but the mushroom kind. Got 2 more empty slots. Let's find, I don't know, let's find something interesting. Like a fox and a cub. That's cute. I don't care about you guys right now. I know I said moments ago that, like, we need to get all the food we can, but... Got some boars. Yep. These guys are jerks. I mean, I don't think they actually attack you until you get, like, too close to their business. Oh, no. You gotta be kidding me. Can't let this guy get away. After all that? Come on. Watch me run just, like, straight into a giant hole in the ground and die. Because I won't let a boar go. Got him. First try. I don't know if I'm actually butchering this thing or if I just kind of like... Okay. Just had my head inside it, I guess. Hello? There we go. Okay, that was weird. All right, we got some good stuff here. We got some more meat. We got some more fat. More rawhide. Good to have as well. Got a full inventory now, and ended up running pretty far away from where I was looking. And we should probably start hoofing it back there. Are these cranberries? Oh my gosh. I can't stop. I can't be stopped either. I know I have like 20 some planted at home. We have 13 more in inventory right now. Amazing. I think we're probably a ways off from it, but I know you can make jams. You can make like a berry compote. Is that what it would be? Is this not a lobster? Jack-o'-lanterns. Okay, well, I don't want those. Those actually hurt to eat. I thought it was more of these. Lobster. I do have a torch today, so we could stay out here. But I'd like to at least, like, pop back home. Jack-o'-lanterns. Cranberries? Cranberries. I'd like to at least pop back home, drop off all of my cranberry bushes, and make some stew. Looks like we are starting to get pretty hungry. So I'm gonna just start running for home. A ton of cattails around here, so don't think we'll ever have an issue with that. Need more of those for storage or whatever. Which is actually why the last time we killed a boar, we oiled the hide, because eventually we'll be able to use that to craft a bigger bag. All right, 17 more. Wow. A perfect fit. That's a lot of cranberries. And you're still going. Really? Okay. Well, I guess I'll just eat my cooked food. And then maybe we'll get some more firewood over here. Gonna save this for when the pit kiln is done, if it ever is done. Let's get some. Okay, where does it say my biome? No. Okay. I haven't seen those little bugs before. That was cute. I think I'm going to worry more about the wood for now. I'll check how many sticks do I have? Actually, not a ton. Shoot. I probably should actually be trimming these trees then. Which is kind of a bummer. That means we're going to go through a lot of axes doing this. But we're always going to need more sticks. And more vines. Use those to make rope. Otherwise, we got to use our cattails, which is fine too. Me the Bubba Gump Cranberry Company. Honestly, yeah, it's going to be nice to have all of those. Unfortunately, unless I have a better way to like process them, which I will eventually, or I can eventually, they're just kind of okay right now. I don't know if I can use them as an additional ingredient in my like stews or whatever. Maybe I can. I guess we can try that. But right now, it's like half a hunger bar, which is better than like not having that half a hunger bar. But actually, I guess the other thing about those is I have like a huge stack too, so it's not a quick recovery because it takes a second, but I can get a lot of them. Some more trees planted right away. I always think there's something like an animal in these bushes when the branches are like swaying around or whatever. I'm like half-heartedly trying to convince Dani to play this with me, even though I am positive that she would hate it. She wants to play like in Minecraft. She wants to do creative so she can build out her like really cool ideas. And I'm like, no, it's not right that we haven't started by living in a hut in the earth or whatever. And yeah, there is actually a creative mode, so maybe she could have some fun with that, but I don't think we would get very far, which is too bad. I could use the decor help. I've seen a couple of like Hobbit house style builds that people have done that are really cute. Also, windmills become a thing later, like a thing you kind of want. There's so many cranberries. And for the other things we lack, I guess we make up for it in cranberries. I'm just going to kind of clear this place out. We need all the sticks, and it'll help me see if there actually is anything in the grass that I'm just not able to see with all the cover. I'm a little worried that there's something wrong with this because what day is it? Oh, it's still only the 2nd? Okay, well, I'm getting way ahead of myself in my head. There's that boar from earlier. How many spears do I have? 4? You could probably handle him. Let's see if we can get him. I kind of like being in the water. They're a little bit... Oh, she ran away. Okay, well, that's fair. That's a viable strategy. I can't fault you for that one. I thought she was going to turn around and... Well, I guess we kill the baby then, right? Or maybe not. I can't even hit it. I don't think that I've ever killed a piglet, so I don't know if they're worth it. Like, what's the harvest that we'll get out of this? We got a little bit of meat. Guess I'll just throw the soil. little bit of meat, a tiny hide, which is not surprising. Didn't get any fat from that, and the fat is kind of more what I want, so probably won't do that too often. There we go. I just need to be a little bit more patient. Looks like we got our pit kiln all wrapped up. Make some space here. Or not if I can't, actually. Oh, I have an enemy over there. There's a Bowtorn over there. So I'm just going to go ahead and go to bed. I don't want to deal with that. Those guys are not very good in melee, so if he's still around when we wake up today... Let's see. Oh, it must have been really early. If he's still out there when I wake up, I'll just go rush him. But I'd be a lot happier if he just was gone. Nope, he is still there. All right. Ouch. So yeah, those guys are a little nastier at range. Also, you never expect to hear your character honking when they get hit. So that one was a little bit surprising for me. Nothing? Can I even harvest you? Oh, okay. You had some flax fibers. Very cool. I do actually really want those, but only one is not the most helpful. Let's get this out of the way. Medium rawhide. I don't want to waste a lump of fat for one of them. I'm going to be cooking with a lot of this stuff in a moment. So maybe I'll just make some firewood, I guess. Actually, I don't even think I have enough inventory space to do this. Oh, okay. Oh, there we go. We'll go ahead and fill this up and grab the torch and pass on the eternal flame. And let's get like a stew cooking. 2 bowls, so this is our cooking pot. So what kind of food do I have? I have red cap mushrooms, and I have red raw meat. I have 2 turnips. So if I did like that, and that, no, not good enough. Can't put the meat in there. Okay. That's fine. I guess we'll just make a stew out of this. Although I only made 2 bowls, so I guess no, we won't. Go ahead and throw the meat in there. I'll cook that up in a little bit. Once we've chewed through this. If it spoils before then, I guess then that's my bad. Let's get these out of here. And next up, I suppose we can throw the pickaxe in there. And fill her up with some grass. And then do the same with some sticks. Firewood. And let's get her rolling. That's good. That'll take a little while, but we'll get there. So what do we have here? This is hearty red wine cap lobster stew. This is going to recover 360 hunger. So I might just munch through a couple of these. What does that put us at? Not really worth eating another one. Just drop that on the ground for now. I can't put, like... So, baskets like this, this will reduce how quickly food spoils. If it's already in a container like this, I don't believe that that'll have any effect. So, just throw that on the ground. I have another one in my inventory. I need to put away some firewood. Oh. I thought I was just out. Okay, turned it. Cool. And I think their next step is going to be... what's the word? Charcoal pit. Next up is going to be a charcoal pit. Got no more room in storage. Okay. So we're going to need to get some axes. And honestly, I think actually before anything else, I should probably get another basket up since I have like no space. So I have exactly enough cattails for that. Looks like we got another visitor. Let's go take care of him. Oh my god, that scared me. They're not very effective at close range, so they run away like that, but dang, they are nasty. I wonder if there's a cave entrance really near me. Hello? Okay, nothing. Is there like a cave right over here that they're coming? Oh, they're coming out of that. Okay, well, that'll do it. All right. For axes and for knives specifically, you can use bone, which makes them a little bit more durable instead of having a stick handle. And it's not a lot, but I mean, we just chew through these axes getting sticks out of here anyway, so. All right, get some more wood. So for the charcoal pit, basically what we're gonna need to do is bury a bunch of wood and start a fire and then deprive it of oxygen so it burns through itself or something. I'm not a professional. And that'll take a little while, just like most stuff. So we'll have other things to work on in that time, and what that'll probably be is... Honestly, what I will probably do is avoid it. But what I should be doing is panning, trying to get some copper. Since we haven't really found any, we're going to need to do it like the boring but safe and predictable way, which is just getting a bunch of sand and putting it through the pan until we have enough, which we're going to need like 40. So it takes a long time, and it's probably not the best thing in the world to stream because it is insanely boring. So if we get to the point where I really need to do that, I'll probably just call it for the night and see what happens off stream. You know me, I'm a filthy cheater, so I'll make sure I get some endgame material at the same time. Slow Rabbits, welcome. No, you're not Slow Rabbits. That stands for something. SLW Rabbits. It's been a while. Remind me. Why are these just here? Okay. Go ahead and have another bit of our food. And I have my inventory is actually full in terms of like wood storage, so let's cheat a little bit. And we're not very far from home, so I don't feel too bad about using up an extra slot that I don't intend to actually craft with. Got him. So I was saving these. Oh yeah, I was gonna make another basket. Just complaining about not having enough space. Well, that's why. Carrying everything with me. So we don't need to be hauling around a crucible. The hides, the wood. Lump of fat can stay. Flax fibers. I do want to get another serving of the food before we go. That's empty now. So that'll be going for a little while. What do we have that I can cook? I guess I can do some meat. Can I put meat stew with boiled cranberries? All right, well, I was wrong. The fruit will be really good for cooking. Or at least I can use it. Cool. I'm going to go west a little ways, I think. And, like, we could be going much, much further out foraging, and I probably should be, but I'm just so dang easily distracted, you know? You find yourself out with the mission, and then all of a sudden you have 23 cranberry bushes in your inventory, and that kind of needs to be taken care of. Like right over there. I think I see some right now. Yeah, they're everywhere. I'm gonna keep getting them, though. I haven't played a ton of this game. Probably like 20-ish hours. But I'm notorious for like starting new games. I've probably started like 6 or 7 worlds. I've never seen this many of one fruit in one place. Like, there's a lot of bushes in this game, but they're not all cranberries, I promise. Are we moving into a different biome? Well, there's like forest up ahead. Forest is a little bit spooky. What do we got here? Onions. How far out am I? Not very far at all. I'll just mark these. Thinking about whether I'd come back this way. Hopefully someday we'll come back and see him. Or not. Some more cranberries for now, though, I think. Oh, red currant. Okay. Must be the edge of the forest. See if we can find... Ooh, this is big. Mature flax is, that's a good find. Really just that one? Flax is just so important. And if we can get some of that growing as soon as possible, it'll be good for us. Some parsnips. I'll mark these two. These are not mature at all. Parsnip. I'm going to run through here pretty recklessly. Definitely a chance that I'm going to miss something because of that, but I also want to be moving. Ooh. An eye on some of these trees for resin. That's something that you end up... The need for it, for me so far, has kind of like snuck up on me. Like, I don't need it until I need it. And then it's like, oh man, I really need to have that like right now. We got a marker for that. We'll go ahead and, if I can, I'll take that with me right away. I can just combine these. The reason they're split like that is one of them, the fresher one at a different timer. If you combine them, I'm guessing it averages out. I haven't actually confirmed that, but it doesn't do that automatically to kind of help you out in case you care. A lot of time I don't. That's some trees growing out of some ruins? No, that's just gravel. Okay. That's too bad. That would have been cool. Okay, well, one so far is fine. If I didn't see any, I'd be a little bit bummed, but this isn't another one of the ones that, I don't know, it feels like I never find it when I'm looking. I got some blueberries here. I don't have space for those. Don't know if I'll care in the future, but possible. Market. And there are the ability to set macros for that. Some mushrooms on that tree over there. So I don't have one set for like everything. Bonnets. I don't have one set for anything. I think I have like 6. It's like copper, resin, clay, peat, beehives, and quartz. I didn't count how many I just said. Pretty calm forest so far. Seems like a famous last words kind of thing. Probably shouldn't say that. That though. This is a solid one. There's been a lot of mushrooms around here. I'm going to throw down a marker for that. I'll just let it give me the autofill. Call them mushrooms. If you're looking for something specific, like to cook with, which I probably should be taking all of those because they would be way more helpful to cook with. But you do have to have like certain quantities of the same thing. So it's not completely mix and match. Got him. It's not completely mix and match, but you can kind of help fill the different needs that way. So I can eat all of these and pick up the resin in a second. I don't think we're going to do anything with that hide, though. We'll just leave them there. Somebody else can have that, I guess. I've been told to watch out for, this isn't quite one, but if you see like symmetrical impressions like this, it might mean that there's a meteorite. This is pretty symmetrical, but I think they are like essentially a circle on the grid. And there can be meteoric iron underneath there, which is pretty neat. I don't think it's necessarily better than acquiring iron just through the ground, but maybe they have some different properties. I don't really know. See, we got a cave. Did I actually bring a torch this time? I did. Take a peek. Do I have anything to even get out of here? Sure don't. All right. Stop at home. I don't think I'm that far, am I? I wish I had a filter on my mic that made it sound like I was underwater when I'm underwater. I guess I really was quite a ways away. I didn't realize it. Yeah, definitely. Okay. Okay. Should maybe mark this spot for low fertility soil. I usually mark when there's like high or at least medium if I'm low on it. Do I need this? How much do I get out of here if I if I do this. Break with bare hands. Well, I can't even do that. Anyway, I usually mark when the soil is decent, so you can come back and dig it up for farmland, but everything around where we live is actually already medium. Almost be worth coming out here, digging up some of this. Well, not this specifically. 3, 4, yeah. Play. Cool. Oh, we got some low fertility, like already right there. That's not too bad. Kind of wanna. One at a time, please. There we go. That's how I always hope that it's gonna go. Not that I'll go on a chase for like 5 miles. Hello? I don't know why I'm having problems with this. I had the same thing earlier where I couldn't harvest it. Is it just literally because my inventory is full? Just move angles, I guess, is the answer. Okay. Cattail. I definitely want to take these bats. I want to say I took a rawhide home earlier. So, okay, time to go, I guess. Ow. I can do 2 hides with 1 like thing of fat, so I don't feel too bad about doing that, but I don't want to go onesie twosies because the animal fat is actually really, really valuable. And I'm not much of a hunter. Did I plant something right here? Okay, I guess I did. Right next to my bed. I got too many spears on me. That's not a spear. I should probably keep that. Is this even tall enough? No. Shovel. Cranberry bushes. And red currant. Alright, well, if I can survive long enough for those to flower and have berries again, I think we'll be doing alright. So I do have 1 rawhide in here. Let's get that rolling. Oiled hides. So let's see, I have 1 at 67. Does it just split the difference? It does. Okay. Not a huge deal whether I have those immediately or not, so they can stay. Flax, I feel like I might as well just get this in the ground, like, immediately. So... Hello? I'm going to want that as frequently growing as possible. Okay, well, whatever. Just have 1 vine hanging out. So let's go ahead and do it. Get a fancy little piece of dirt there. And this isn't what I need to be making. I need to be making a hoe, but that's all right. There we go. This one's my favorite, because once you get to the end and do that 1 connecting one, they all go away. It's the little things. All right, cool. Got our hoe. Get our seeds in the ground. And there's a lot going on that screen. There's growth stage 1 out of 9. The nutrient levels are all at 50%. Growth speed is 88. Moisture is 75. We could get a watering can water this every day to speed it up. Even though it's right next to water, that would bring the moisture up. And that would make it go a little bit faster, but I don't think I'm too bothered to do that. We can probably leave this one behind. That can go. That can go. Actually, I'm pretty sure I can just eat as much of that as I want. That's kind of a nice thing. We can't actually make meals out of this bush meat, so I'm just going to go ahead and chuck that in. We have to cook that this way. We do have some red meat, though, and I think I went through all of my other one. Yeah. So not sure. I mean, we can make a few meals out of this. Get some cranberries on there, too, since we have so many. Maybe that wouldn't be a bad idea. Maybe I'll hang on to that, actually. I guess that also depends on if we go through this pot of food. Should probably have made a second pot right away. Or at least gotten like a crock or something. But I was just trying to go fast, so... I don't really know why. Oh my gosh, look. It's a whole family. It's beautiful. So this is where, like... If I had like a pit, I could try to get them trapped in there. And then if we kept them in there and kept them fed or whatever, they would eventually reproduce. And then the longer you have them, the more you feed them, the more generations you have, the calmer they are when you come around. And you can just butcher them for meat and fat and hides, which are all really important things. I don't think I can probably put it off any longer. Like, the next thing I really need to do is get a hold of some copper and probably get the... I have a prospecting pick mold. Oh, okay, there it is. Get the hammer and the pick. Those are going to be, like, my next goals, which means I just need to do panning. And unfortunately, I don't have a routine for that, so I think... We'll probably just call it here. A little bit of a shorter one, but help me check my audio and everything, and you can kind of get a feel for how the new layout goes. So thanks for stopping by if you did, and if you're watching this later, thanks for that as well. I hope you guys had a good time this evening, or whatever time it is for you, and I will hopefully talk to you soon. Thanks, everybody.